Bills, always tough for them in Buffalo.
Try to survive out here, surrounded by an environment that's unforgiving and just plain hostile. This is where an independent business can find itself today, with nothing to go on but ingenuity and determination. And these days, that's not enough. But it's not as lonely out here as it seems, because commercial credit and controlled data can provide an independent business with the resources it needs. Financing, cash to bridge a difficult period, computer-based education, so people work smarter and better. Through Technotech, they can provide access to new ideas, information, and know-how. Computer services, financial resources that can create an environment that shines with the promise of success. Because we're committed to the survival and growth of independent business. Commercial credit, control data. Together, we find ways to help.
Raymond Chester, Oakland, to your left. To your right, Lydell Mitchell, San Diego. Both former Colts, which tell you something of the tragedy of Baltimore. Now, second quarter action. Play action. Dan Fouts of San Diego looking toward the end zone. His pass deflected by an Oakland defender, taken in by Pat Curran. Big break. San Diego leads 7-0. San Diego kept that lead. They were leading 20-14 at this point. 59 seconds left. Oakland in desperate position. Stabler back to pass. The dependable veteran, number 40, Pete Banaszak, taking it from their own 32, 14-yard gain to the 46. After that, 4 straight passes by Stabler completed. And then this on the 14-yard line with 10 seconds left. 1 fumble, 2 fumbles, 3 fumbles. The ball kicked in, and Dave Casper winds up with it. 7 officials they had for this one, and they called it a touchdown. Look again. Was he trying to pass? Did he really fumble the ball? Look at Banaszak. Did he shovel the ball forward? Now look at Casper, kicking it into the end zone, then falling on. San Diego has filed an official protest on this play. Errol Mann converted. Oakland won it 21-20. What a mess.
Confusion yesterday. No confusion right now here at Bloomington, Minnesota. At halftime, the score, Minnesota 3, Denver nothing. ABC's NFL Monday Night Football is being brought to you by Buick, currently celebrating its 75th anniversary, and by Buick dealers across the country. Buick, 75 years of cars that reflect the thinking of the times. Coming up, Muhammad Ali, Leon Spinks, and we'll be ready for the second half kickoff after this word from our local stations.
Thursday, a man from space conquers Earth. It's the premiere of Mork and Mindy.
Nanu, nanu.
And Barney Miller finds a kidnapped father, but the family doesn't want him back. Then on Soap, find out who killed Peter Campbell. Thursdays, the laughs are on us in 3 one-hour premieres.
Hello again, everyone. It seems the whole world is waiting for Friday night, the return match between Muhammad Ali and Leon Spinks. Right now, the two fighters are at a reception down in New Orleans. We have the good fortune, as you see them there, to be able to talk with each of them. I spoke with them at length Saturday, but here we go again. Muhammad, quite clearly you're in the best shape you've been in since Manila 3 years ago. Quite clearly you've done everything you can to make that body strong and trim. But the question has to be, after 3 years where you weren't in such good shape, can there still be enough will within you? That's the intangible, and enough strength at your age to beat that younger man.
Are you asking me a question?
Yes.
Yes, it's been difficult naturally to get the body in shape. I'm in shape, and what I will actually do when the real moment comes, I really can't say. But I think I'm in good enough shape to be victorious this time. I'm sure Leon's in good shape, and he believes he'll be victorious. And that's what it's all about, see who can win. So I think I can win. I'm sure he thinks he can win. And we'll just wait and see what happens.
All right. You seem to be extremely friendly with Leon Spinks. Is this, in point of fact, true?
Well, the reason I respect Leon so, the crush was put on him by Ken Norton and the WBC, World Boxing Council. They even took half his title because he wouldn't fight Ken Norton, who proved not to be a champion because he couldn't defend his title once. He stood up and said, Muhammad Ali gave me a shot at the title, and I deserve, and he deserved another return. And although all the criticism he took from the people and pressuring him into taking it as part of his title, they did. And he still held fast to give me my chance to fight for it again. And that's why I mind and I don't have nothing bad to say about it.
Leon, you told me last Saturday that there had been some changes in your style. Your style has always natively been to go at the opponent. You talked about bobbing and weaving and perhaps doing some thinking in the ring. Have you thought about that answer since I talked to you Saturday?
Yeah, I have touched on Howard. I have thought about a lot of things since I talked to you Saturday. And the thing that I talked about and thought about, I'd rather keep to myself because my man's sitting right next to me.
You know that you're younger and stronger than Muhammad. That's what gives you confidence. Isn't that true?
Well, it's just like this, Howard. An older man can do anything a young man can do. It all depends on how you treat his body. I just know I got to be stronger and come stronger when we get on September 15th.
We began together in Burlington, Vermont, at the University of that state. You won the Olympic box-off. It was only a couple of years ago. Did you ever dream that you'd be in the position you're in now, the champion defending?
No, Howard, I ain't never dreamed that I'd be in the position that I am now, but nothing stopped me from trying to get here.
Are you going to knock him out?
Howard, the only thing I'm going to do is try to hold on to my gusto where he's trying to get back.
Muhammad, do you have any prediction? Have you changed your mind about predicting?
No, Howard, I'm not predicting, and never can tell what's going to happen. I'm just so glad that he proved to the world the first time that he's a good fighter. It might sound strange, but probably me losing was the best blessing in disguise. All the talk was I'm fighting a nobody with 7 pro fights. You were one of them. Nobody. He's never been over 10 rounds, barely beat Scott Ledoux. You can't get a bet in Las Vegas. It's a shame Muhammad Ali's fighting the likes of an amateur, a fresh amateur. So he shut all of you up. And I'm just glad now you got to recognize him. Now I have a chance to fight for something worthwhile. Now I'm fighting a man that you know is good. He didn't just defeat me, he defeated all the experts. He defeated you, he defeated Las Vegas, he defeated everybody. Now all of you know he's no pushover, and I'm glad he proved it.
Okay, thank you both very much. Thank you both very much. The noise here has been deafening, but we've done the best we could in trying to hear you. Right now, we're ready for more football. I'll see you both in New Orleans tomorrow. Good luck to you both. Over to Frank.
Okay. Muhammad Ali, Leon Spinks, speaking to you live from New Orleans. They fight, of course, Friday night. Here in Bloomington, the Minnesota Vikings lead 3-0 over Denver. They had a 24-yard field goal from Dan Meyer, and that has been the only scoring. Sammy White dropped a couple that could have given the Minnesota Vikings a 14-0 lead. There you look at the first half statistics, as we've said before, not one of your more glamorous offensive showings, but nevertheless a well-played football game. Denver doing what they have not done before, turning the football over. Both these teams are very opportunistic teams. That's been their history. Denver more recently, of course, Minnesota. 9 of the last 11 years they have taken the Central Division, gone to the Super Bowl 4 times, and the man who does it all for them, Francis Tarkenton. He missed 5 games, of course, last year with a broken fibula. And he is back healthy, and if anything, and we've seen him twice this year, maybe a little more conservative in this his 18th year. Denver will kick off. And that means, of course, Lonnie Perrin. We talked about Jim Turner earlier. He was not a long kicker. Brett McClanahan drops deep for Minnesota. Lonnie Perrin doubles in brass as a setback on the special teams and also does the kicking off. Hope you're enjoying our night, a lovely night here in Bloomington. Our second Monday night game of the season, and a great lineup coming your way throughout the year. Teams are set, and we're about to get underway. Lonnie Perrin, last minute adjustment to the kicking tee. Give us an opportunity to tell you this telecast is presented by authority of the National Football League. It's intended for the private use of our audience. Any rebroadcast or other use of this telecast without the express written consent of the National Football League is prohibited. Second half underway. Perrin hangs it up. McClanahan from the 4-yard line.
That was Lonnie Perrin who made a tackle over there along with.
He does a little bit of everything.
Yes,
good athlete. Lonnie Perrin hustling down to make the stop, and McClanahan gets it out to just short of the 28-yard line. Offensively for Minnesota, Fran Tarkenton at quarterback, Ricky Young 34, Chuck Foreman 44. Those are the setbacks. Wide receivers 85, Sammy White, Ahmad Rashad. And one wide receiver, Bob Tucker.
I knew what you're talking about.
Number 38, the tight end.
Don't blame you for that one. Keep going.
Ricky Young and goes down, coughs up the ball. I think it was blown dead at the 32-yard line. A gain of 4. It'll be 2nd and 6.
Since you mentioned Muhammad, I've never seen a man more somber, more serious, who has a record of clowning and all the rest. And still, knowing him all the years the way I have, I don't know whether he's putting us on all over again. Whether he really thinks he can take the kid because he is in shape, take him with ease because of his experience, or whether he's in fact wondering how it's all going to turn out.
Part of his magic.
Young in motion. Tarkenton back. 2nd down, 6.
Nice.
Screen pass, Chuck Foreman. Oh, look at those moves. Oh, he's just Mr. Plastic Man.
That was fun.
First down.
That was Randy Gradishar and Foley that he left out there on that field. Let's see it again. This was set up really well. They let him come back in. Gradishar actually made a, I won't say Gradishar missed him. He had to jump over somebody to get there. But you like his moves, don't you, Shake?
I do, and Goodra made a fine block, number 68, coming out.
Not a bad move. Foley tried to get him. He just couldn't quite hold on.
Not a whole lot of folks have those moves. 1st and 10, 40-yard line. Ricky Young, right side. Squeezes out a yard and a half, maybe. It'll be 2nd down, 8. Ricky Young, we talked about, as we looked at Craig Morton earlier in the first half, he was a leading receiver for San Diego for the past 3 years and was the leading rusher, and he was the leading receiver last year. So a team with Chuck Foreman, Tarkenton really has himself another offensive weapon there. Good receiver and a good runner. Ball at the 42-yard line, 2nd down and 8. Just underway. It's 3-0 Minnesota. Young in motion again. Foreman, he'll have a little bit of running room, and incomplete, they're ruling. Boy, and I'll tell you, he would have had himself a bunch of Denver Broncos around him.
But that's the 2nd time he's done it. You notice he was tentative in the reception. Watch him here, looking ahead of him to see what confronted him. See? Just as he got the ball, he turned and looked.
He would have had an end zone shot. You would have seen why he might have been tentative. Gradishar coming, Jackson coming, Thompson coming. Take a look at the orange pants working over to the right.
He says, my mama didn't raise no food. No, sir.
Third down and 8. Ricky Young, Robert Miller, the setbacks on 3rd and 8.
Oh, he's got him there. There he is.
Miller.
Nice crossing pattern.
Albert Miller, and he has the first down. He's over midfield, out of bounds at the 49-yard line. Louis Wright takes him out of bounds.
Now you're seeing Francis at his very best as you look at Miller's statistics in his career. Picking them apart, using the short stuff, rolling out.
You see Miller come from the left setback, and he's crossing with Ricky Young, who comes in that direction. Very difficult for those linebackers. They try to play man-to-man in there as much as they can. They don't play nearly as much zone as the defensive setbacks. Crossed him up. He had time to throw it. Miller came across.
There's Brash, Bob, and Miller.
Darkington, 9 of 20, 69 yards. He threw it 48 times last week against New Orleans. On 1st and 10, he goes to the air again. Foreman, Chuck Foreman. A little pirouette that maybe wasn't even necessary.
Yeah. Now, he loves to dump off to his backs. That's been Darkington's history. You said earlier, either you, Frank, or Dunn, that Young had broken the record for receptions a week ago with 12, as an evidence of how he loves to dump off to his backs. Who held the prior record at 11?
Well, it had to be Chuck Foreman.
How about Bill Brown?
Ed Marinaro.
Well, I was close. I was moving in that direction. I knew you were leading me in there somewhere.
2nd down, 5. Foreman gets 5. Chuck Foreman. Oh, and is he hit by Jackson?
Oh, Jackson read that one, didn't he, Rick? My gosh, I believe he may be hurt a little bit. He really did come in there hard.
Boy, he took quite a shot.
He really did.
His shoulder, his left shoulder.
He's a tough one. He has literally been hit 3 times in his life by automobiles. This Jackson.
What?
True. He's out of Cleveland, and he has actually been hit 3 times. I like his hat, man. Right on it, dance on them, do it, and we're going to be back in this thing in just a little while.
What do Buick Opel owners say about their Opels?
I like getting into it. It responds well. I would just have to say that it's a real experience to drive it.
It's great. It's a good car. Great on gas. It's a roomy car for being such a small car. It's fun to drive. It's comfortable. It's just a fantastic car. I know you'd love it.
It's peppy, and I like it. Sporty.
If you're looking for a great Japanese car, look for a great American name.
If your business takes you to the heart of a city, there's nothing like Hilton Rainbow Service. In Manhattan, it's right on Park Avenue at the Waldorf Astoria. Or if your business is pleasure, you'll find Rainbow Service at the fabulous Las Vegas Hilton and on beautiful Waikiki at the Hilton Hawaiian Village. Hilton Rainbow Service. You'll find it at the heart of every Hilton, in the heart of most every city.
There's no place like Hilton.
Saturday, Penn State, Ohio State headlines an exciting afternoon of regional games. Check local listings for NCAA football on ABC.
Tom Jackson is not only good, he's tough. He makes it off the field in his own power. And let's look at the top of your screen now. You'll see Jackson. He got a head right on Foreman's knee. Shook him up. He appears to be okay. He's been replaced, at least temporarily, by number 56, Larry Evans, a third-year man out of Mississippi College, a 14th round draft pick in '76. 3rd down and 8. The report is that Jackson just had the wind shaken from him. He should be back. Ball at the 48. 3rd and 8 for Minnesota. Both backs out of the backfield. Tarkin in good protection. Oh, no. Ricky Young, but the new rule applies as Sammy White makes the reception downfield.
We may set a record for completed deflections this year.
Well, we won't, but we might see it. He hit him right in the hands, too. I saw him coming back around linebacker, and I said, oh, he's got Young in there. And that's good. I love that.
Fran having a word with Ricky Young, who did not hold on, but it paid off, as you'll see right here. Young could not hold on to the ball. Sammy White was right where he should have been, and under the new rule, the second offensive receiver, or the man who catches the deflected pass, if it's an offensive receiver, it is a completion.
He threw that one pretty hard.
He sure did. 1st and 10.
He's got a man open down the middle.
And Tarkenton wisely races out of bounds, pays for it dearly, and he dumps it away in the general direction of number 44, Chuck Foreman.
Oh, Awfully hard to see those open guys down the middle when you're running in that direction with all those.
Barney Chavis have it.
Yeah,
particularly.
Have a way to have blurred vision in a hurry.
With that hot breath on your neck as you turn the corner.
Yes.
Vivid description, Giff.
Oh, Francis. What a guy.
2nd and 10. Stuvoid in now, tight end, number 83. Sammy White, 85. Ahmad Rashad, 28. Those are your receivers. Backs Foreman and Young. Draw play. Foreman. Oh.
Yes, sir.
Jackson's all right. That was Tom Jackson who made sure that Foreman didn't get more than a yard out of it, number 57. So it'll be 3rd down and 9. Some great stats accompany this first-round draft pick out of Miami. Already he has in 6 years, or rather 5 years and 2 games, over 7,500 yards of offense. And there are few players in their entire careers in the history of this game that make it over 10,000. He should do it in a breeze. Ricky Young, wide open. Gradishar misses, and Young goes out of bounds in the arms of Louis Wright, short of the first down. He had to get to the 24. He makes it to the 28. So a 4th down. And we'll look for Rick Danmeyer. Here he comes, number 7. He's traveled around a little bit. Right out in Atlanta in 74. Minnesota had him in 75. Went to Chicago. Came back to the Vikings last year, and he is now on with a 46-yard attempt. Has the distance. Yes. All right. So Minnesota extends their lead, and we'll be returning to Bloomington right after this message.
The American Indian has always respected the eagle, its strength, its freedom to sail, to soar, master of the sky. To fly like the eagle is no longer a dream. To fly to the lands of the Native American or anywhere else in the world on a Boeing 747. The world's favorite way to fly.
Tuesday, Happy Days moves out west for a 1-hour season premiere. And Fonzie meets his match over a cowgirl, Richie. Then it's the season premiere, and Jack's in love again.
Oh, Jack.
He's got more women than he can handle. Three's Company. Then get a handle on a new comedy hit. It'll drive you crazy.
What do you mean, busting my chops here? What's wrong? Don't they feed you in there?
It's all new. It's Taxi.
Watch World News Tonight, weeknights on ABC.
Would you believe, with 9:58 remaining in the 3rd quarter, we have no touchdowns scored. 2 field goals by Danmeyer, Minnesota leading 6-0. Mike Wood will kick off. Boots it high, is taken by Dave Preston. And Preston moves smartly out to the 34-yard line, and the Vikings will try to get it moving again.
Interestingly, Red Miller is staying with Craig Morton. Norris Weiss, the young man from Mississippi, has a lot of movement. He's flashy, and he can be used as a spot quarterback to bring a team to life. The key thing here is Denver, with a touchdown, can take the lead. If they fall more than a touchdown behind on the scoreboard, they're in trouble.
Lonnie Perrin, one setback. Otis Armstrong, and this is Armstrong. And Armstrong, with a couple of nifty moves, gets 5. It'll be 2nd down and 5 at the 38-yard line. There's Danmeyer, hit for 24 yards out for the initial score for Minnesota. And a moment ago, from 46 yards out.
Much traveled, as Frank said. Not easy to follow guy there. Good shot. Not easy to follow in the footsteps of Fred Cox. But tonight, he's doing it.
Riley Odom's in motion. Inside handoff. Otis Armstrong right in the arms of Jeff Seaman. Back to the line of scrimmage. That's it.
you get that motion from the tight end, they're changing the side of their, what they call the strong side offense, which is going to change a lot of their keys back in there. He saw Riley Odom go. He made his move, I think, just really off of a pattern of what they've been doing. Really read it well. They stepped right up in the middle and away from that block.
Stanford man, academically intelligent, and why not? Trained early at Bakersfield.
Two of them out here tonight from my old high school. The old drillers, Louis Wright, Denver, Jeff Seaman for Minnesota. On 3rd and 5, and this is Upchurch. Upchurch has the first down. He's down to the 47-yard line, stopped by Nate Wright. Well, he'll make you a little nervous if you're defending him one-on-one.
Yeah, that's used to be the pattern of Minnesota as they played a lot of zone, and you would try to read that zone and then go the other way because the cornerback would always drop off pretty deep. Nowadays, they've got so many defenses, it's very hard to read, but that time they were really playing off and in a zone to the strong side.
Martin, short drop, and it's picked off. Nate Wright, oh, and he read it beautifully. Nate Wright read that absolutely beautifully. He was down, there's no fumble, and Morton, I don't think he ever saw Nate Wright. He was going for Haven Moses. He took a 3-yard drop, unloaded. Wright, who was probably in his zone coverage, stepped right in front of it. That's it.
Yeah, you're right.
If Denver, as you look at Nate Wright there, if Denver can stop Minnesota from scoring, there it is coming right at you. Look at that.
Yeah, you saw Wright. You could tell his headgear. He looked right back at Morton. Checked that man on the line of scrimmage first. Checked the quarterback second. Saw Craig Thole with a quick setup and a quick delivery. Didn't read anybody.
I suspect you'll be seeing Mr. Weiss very early. There is the flashing smile of Mr. Wright.
5-year starter. You don't hear all that much about him, but he does a good job and has for those 5 years. Foreman, single setback, gets the call on 1st and 10. A flag is down. Foreman gets to about the 23-yard line. Barney Tavis over there to make the stop from his defensive end position. But you saw the flag at the top of your screen. Offsides, and it goes against Denver. Denver with a tough schedule start. They open against Oakland. They came out 14-6 there. Next week they play San Diego.
Offside, number 56, first down.
Defensively, it was Larry Evans, the official indicated, who was offsides. Doug Grant, unhappy. Or is he ever happy?
Oh, he's just implacable.
1st and 5. Ricky Young and Lyle Alzado. Maybe got a yard out of it as Lyle Alzado, Randy Gradishar put the brakes on.
That defense is remarkable. They give you nothing. You've got to find ways. People associate the 30 defense with a number of teams. Miami, New England. Nobody plays it better than Denver. I might have added Oakland, but nobody plays it better than Denver.
2nd down, long 5. Ball at the 21-yard line. Chuck Foreman over the right side.
What a move.
What a move. Oh!
What a tackle.
Good open field tackle.
Foley.
Steve Foley. Hard to get this man down one-on-one.
Made a great acceleration, Frank, right there just by the line of scrimmage. Let's see if we can see what happens. But right here looks pretty well blocked up. Swinson has got a shot at him, but there, just jumped right across, saw that open space. Good tackle by Foley.
That's the way you have to do it, with brilliant individual skills. And Foreman, as we've told you repeatedly through the years, has them. Look at that cut back in that leap.
Yeah, Jackson overran it. He had a pretty good angle on it, overran it, got caught in the pursuit coming the other way.
Minnesota with a first down.
Oops, that'll give me 5.
Ricky Young, right side, a late flag, and it does go down.
Oh, boy, that's really costly. You get a first down and 10 down there. You can still make a first down before they score. The guy jumps off sides in the first down. Now he's got 1st and 5 from about the 7.
Well, they march it off. We'll allow our local stations 5 seconds along the line to let you know who's bringing you this telecast.
Offsides, defense, number 59, first down.
That's a costly one.
There it is, 6-0. We have 6:15 remaining in the third quarter. Parkinson making sure things get worked out, and they are working out very well. Nate Wright picking off Craig Morton. Good return. Minnesota threatening again. They lead 6-0. Ball at the 8-yard line. Chuck Foreman following Ricky Young.
Oh, what a play.
Gets to the 5-yard line. That's it. Bob Swinson over there, number 51. So it'll be second down now. A long 3.
The thing is, Frank, that really, they've got those, you know they're going to go, well, I'll back out of that one. But, they've got so many chances to go ahead and pick up that other first down. Theoretically, they can run that thing 8 times in there. And they do need that touchdown.
And they are nipping away at the clock. Ricky Young. Bulls ahead. I don't believe he has the first down.
Key thing, if they succeed on this drive, is what Frank just said. And nipping away at the clock. And not only succeeding offensively, they're succeeding defensively because Denver can't get the ball. It's an old-fashioned drive.
An old-fashioned love song.
Yeah. And if they hang 7 more on that scoreboard, Denver is not noted as one of your strong comeback teams. No, not an offensive machine in any stretch of anyone's imagination. And this man knows it. Got off to a bad start at New Orleans. They don't want to come out of this game 0-2. Chuck Foreman, right side. And another great defensive effort by Denver. Randy Gradishar sliding along the line with Barney Chavis. And it's going to be 4th down.
Well, you were talking about Norris Weiss a while ago. You're looking at the Minnesota back bench. Let's take a little shot in here and see what's happening. Quick little toss. Kind of risky. And here comes Gradishar in from his linebacker out of Champion, Ohio. Anybody from Champion, Ohio can't be all bad.
Player. They're going to measure, but the kicking unit has already come out for Minnesota. That's short. No question what you do.
More like 2 yards.
You put it out of a touchdown and a conversion range. So Rick Danmeyer is hit from 24 yards out, and 46 yards out is out on the field.
Penrose and Weiss have been warming up behind the Bronco bench, so I think your anticipation was probably right.
You just can't have enough respect and admiration for that Denver defense. They are really remarkable.
They are tough. Couldn't make 5 yards and 3 shots at it. That's really something.
21-yard field goal attempt. Danmeyer. No problem. And Minnesota hangs another 3 on the board. They lead the Denver Broncos 9-0. 4:26 remaining in the third quarter.
Zenith announces a breakthrough. System 3. The best Zenith ever. A brand new picture tube for the sharpest Zenith picture ever. And an all-new modular chassis. Designed to be the best performing, the most reliable color TV in Zenith history. Zenith System 3. It's the best Zenith ever.
One of the things that Buick's always worked with best is the idea of room. The amount of room for families and things, and the kind of room for luxury. Now, this Buick LeSabre not only has room for 6 people, it's also it's a heck of a nice place for them to be. Frankly, Buick thinks that with that much comfort and that much luxury, the LeSabre, dollar for dollar, might be their very best value. I wouldn't argue with that.
Norris Weiss on the sidelines. He appears as if he's coming to the ball game in relief of Craig Morton, who was 9 of 21 for 90 yards and 2 interceptions. Meanwhile, set to kick off, Minnesota. Mike Wood is there. Deep is Lonnie Perrin, flanked by Dave Preston and John Schultz. Perrin puts a big foot into this one. And Lonnie Barron looks it over and says, I'll stay here. And
oh, that's nice. Well, that's a big help when you get that kicker to knock that thing in the end zone.
There's something I'd like to say for all of us at ABC Sports, and maybe this is as good a time as any as Norris Weiss comes in. Ronnie Peterson, the great Swedish racing driver, died in a crash over the weekend at Monza. We congratulate Mario Andretti on winning the Grand Prix championship, but share his grief with him over the loss of a good friend and the one man who had a chance to catch him, Ronnie Peterson.
On 1st and 10 is Norris Weiss in relief of Craig Morton. Comes with the screen pass. This is Otis Armstrong.
Boy.
And Otis tangles up with Fred McNeil, and he wins about a 2-yard battle there for a gain of 6. He'll be 2nd and 4. We'll tell you about Norris Weiss. Rams picked him in 1974. He went to the WFL, played in Hawaii, 74, 75. Came to Denver as a free agent in 76. 2 years, he's had 67 attempts. 35 completions. He basically is a fine athlete. He'll do a lot of running around on you. And he runs well.
He was their leading ground carrier in preseason, I think, Frank.
Option. Here's Keyworth. Line of scrimmage, that's it.
They definitely have a different style of offense with the Norris Weiss than they do Craig. But Craig, you can see the plays that they've run, the first 2 plays they've run. Ordinarily, you wouldn't expect Craig to do it.
3rd down and 4. 3 field goals. All Minnesota. 24, 46, and 21. They lead Denver 9-0. Fire over the middle. Man is open. And it's Haven Moses. And Moses has the first down at the 44-yard line. Weiss put it on a string.
Yeah, as we said earlier, Weiss has the capacity to fire up a team.
Looks like he's throwing a dart here. Look at this. Zip, he says. Right in there. Right on the knot. That was nice.
He gives you movement. He's unafraid. Look at him again.
Nice little step right back up in that pocket. And zing.
And credit to Haven Moses. He found the open spot. There's the 1 shot allowed against him. Hangs in there. He didn't go too far too quickly. 1st and 10 at the 44 for Denver. Otis Armstrong. And Armstrong over midfield. He'll get 8 out of it. Close to the 48-yard line of Minnesota. Opening them up. Bill Wise and Tom Hannon.
Sorry, Frank. Opening them up with the pass. He turns to the run. Clever little quarterback. His problem is the ability to sustain. He gives you a lot, and then suddenly he can take it away.
Ball mark just short of the 48-yard line. A quick look at Red Miller. Done a great job with this Denver Bronco bunch. Armstrong, another big hole over the left side, and Armstrong has another Denver first down at the 43.
There's a flag down out there somewhere. Poor old Curley.
You have to wonder how Craig feels.
I know how he feels.
And it's going to go against Denver.
How does he feel?
Poorly. He feels poorly.
Marched off against Denver. Here's the call.
Holding, offense, number 64, 2nd down.
The center, Bill Bryan, guilty of holding for Denver, and that hurts.
Does it?
He had a first down at the 43-yard line of Minnesota. Now they are back with a 2nd down and 13 at the 42-yard line, their own 42-yard line. Armstrong on the draw.
Page almost had him. Good turn around and picked up about 7 or 8.
Armstrong gets 8 to the 48-yard line. It'll be 3rd down now and 7. And Armstrong leaves the field. In comes Dave Preston, a rookie out of Bowling Green.
Very impressive when we saw him against San Francisco, Frank.
Yes, indeed. He wears number 46. Reese. Down he goes.
Then Carl Eller got a whack of it.
And then Mullaney finished it.
Yes, sir.
I like that Mullaney. He was one of 6 who hadn't signed. All of the 5 of the 6 have signed. Mullaney has not yet signed, but he has agreed to terms.
That's a Denver guy, too. He makes his home in Denver in the off-season, so he's got a little special.
But that's the youth that they're trying to develop in there that you talked about at the beginning of our telecast. Mullaney and Holloway, 2 of the Vikes of the future.
And Smith is in there, too.
Bucky Dilts.
Bucky didn't get
Punts away, and Sammy White was back, and Dilts loses it off his right foot. So Minnesota is going to have good field possession again. When we return, they'll be at their own 33-yard line.
Many people think of corporations as ivory towers, but in an ivory tower world, 3M hears you. When people needed a product that would seal new wrapping materials, 3M heard and invented Scotch brand tapes, an explosion in creative adhesives that goes on today. Small, big, simple, complex. Ingenious products for practical use. In a world of ivory towers, 3M hears you.
Eastern's unlimited mileage fare. Now 2 people can fly to as many of Eastern cities as they can for no more than $323 each. $399 for travel after November 1st. Choose from 106 cities in 12 countries. Discover Mexico, the Caribbean, Walt Disney World, New York, Miami, Los Angeles. Call your travel agent or Eastern for complete details. Eastern's unlimited mileage fare. Now you can fly, fly, fly.
Saturday on ABC's Wide World of Sports, Muhammad Ali, Leon Spinks, action highlights of the WBA World Heavyweight Championship.
And they didn't allow him any last year either. Good, tough defensive unit. Just cannot seem to hang the points on the scoreboard. They're playing a good ball club, tough ball club. Perennial winners of their Central Division. And the Vikings leading 9-0 have a 1st and 10. The ball is at their own 3-yard line. Foreman and Ricky Young, the setbacks. You're watching Ricky Young in motion. This is Foreman. And Foreman out over the 35, close to the 36. Getting along 2. Second down and 8.
Excuse me, Gift. Don, do you think Fran will play it close to the vest, knowing that Denver doesn't have a smashing or quick striking offense?
Close to the vest, and that I don't think he'll take any unreasonable chances. Francis, I think he'll still throw, but I think he'll try to contain his throwing to the short ones or the ones that he's got something an open field when he overthrows. I don't think he'll see him make any foolish mistakes.
Ricky Young, and Ricky Young surges ahead out to the 39-yard line, gets 4 more. It'll be 3rd down and 3. Seconds ticking away as we look at one of the famed Vikings.
It's Don's cousin.
Cousin Willie.
You're watching another exclusive of ABC Sports, and that is the end of the 3rd quarter with the score. Minnesota 9, Denver nothing. We'll return for the 4th quarter and more action in just a moment.
Tuesday, it's the season premiere.
Oh, Jack.
And Jack's got more women than he can handle. Then get a handle on a new comedy hit. They'll drive you crazy, the guys from Taxi. And Starsky and Hutch make all the right moves to expose a disco killer on the season premiere.
Tomorrow on ABC.
He might be.
We're having some brief technical difficulties in bringing you the beginning of the fourth quarter of the game between the Denver Broncos and the Minnesota Vikings. As soon as the picture and audio difficulties are cleared up, we'll return for the fourth quarter of this NFL Monday Night Football game. Once again, we're having difficulties from Bloomington for the game between the Denver Broncos and the Minnesota Vikings. As you know, the score is 9-0 in favor of the Vikings at the moment, and the fourth quarter is just now underway. Just as soon as possible, we'll return to Howard Cosell, Frank Gifford, and Don Meredith. So please stand by. Using every possible second. The old slow-down offense. They lead 9-0. Foreman.
Ah, boy.
I don't know.
Another close one. He tried to hurdle it once again. Tuckington, little tour director up there for it.
I love that shot of Bud Grant, Frank. He looks still perplexed over the fact that Tarkenton had given the ball away earlier.
And we'll have a measurement. What a great athlete this man was, Bud Grant. 9 varsity letters.
You played against him, didn't you?
I did. He played some pro basketball for a couple of years. Then he's been up to the Philadelphia Eagles, was second leading receiver. Then he went up to Winnipeg. Had a great career up there. As you can see, Minnesota short by that much.
Wasn't he in his 20s when he started coaching up in Winnipeg?
Must have been. He only played 4 years. Started in 1956.
He's like 20.
Valley Sherman up there, as a matter of fact.
Yeah, 28, 29 years old. That's right. He ranks 4th on the all-time list of post-coaching victories.
They're going to go for it on 4th down.
They got to. 13-14 left in the game. They can use up more clock. Only inches to make. And they're on the Denver 33, so if they do turn it over, Denver's still got a long, long haul.
Either that or they're going to just let the clock tick down and take a penalty and then punt it. Foreman again, over the top, he's got it.
Yeah, they knocked him back, but I believe they did get it. You're right.
Very similar in the exact spot that we saw the same thing happen in the first quarter.
But they are amazing, Denver.
Denver really is, and I don't blame them. They're all upset. They said, look where he is, man. He's 4 yards behind where he started. But it's that initial point where that forward surge is halted, and then there he is. There's old buddy.
First down, Minnesota. You called a good one, Bud.
Dodgers leading San Francisco 3-0 in the third inning, leading by 3 in the standings. Kansas City a winner, and California a loser to Texas. Royals lead by 1.5. Of course, you know that Boston beat Baltimore 5-4 on 2 Jim Rice homers. Boston leads the Yankees by 0.5.
First and 10, Minnesota. Ball at the 32-yard line of Denver. This is Robert Miller. Miller gets a yard and a half for 2 yards. It'll be second down and 8. The ball just inside the 30-yard line of the Broncos. Barney Chavis on the bottom of that pile.
Final baseball postscript gift. Phil's crushed the Bucks 10-3. They're ahead of the Bucks now by 5.
3 Dan Meyer field goals. All the scoring we've had tonight. Denver unable to generate any offense. Never even threatening, as a matter of fact. A lot of turnovers. Denver has turned it over 5 times. Minnesota 3 times. Second down and 8. Tarkenton hands off to Robert Miller as Tarkenton trying to grind out the first downs, work on the clock.
And get them at least in a position where it'll take more than a touchdown and a field goal to beat them. They can come away with 3 this time.
That's right.
That's in a good place. So he's
got them in a box.
You bet.
And they've got a hot kicker, Dan Meyer. 24 yards, 21 yards, 46 yards. Third down, 4. Tarkenton. He'll be careful. He won't throw it up for grabs. And he's dropped all the way back to the 34-yard line. Good coverage downfield.
Looked like he was trying to, well, I guess he was just scrambling. But I thought maybe that might have been an initial play. The play to come back over there to Ricky Young was back on that side.
Great shot, Chavis and Alzado.
Did you see that?
Oh, yeah.
I think that reflects the greatness of that Denver defense. A lot of corny stuff thrown around in sports. But if ever a group was together, it's that Denver defense.
They really, truly are.
They're just remarkable, the way they hold together. Game in and game out.
Well, they did not get the opportunity for the field goal. Mike Wood is on. Bill Thompson, the safety, is playing up short. But, of course, Mike Wood will go for the out of bounds.
All right,
a block one.
There you go. High snap from center started it.
Alzado and
always in the scene.
Chavis always on the spot.
Bernie Jackson in there, Tommy Jackson, they're all together.
They lived by this method of football last year.
That's right. Look at it again.
Had a rookie high snap from Utah, centering that one. Jim, that ball was kicked low, too.
Lyle Alzado blocks it. Chavis recovers.
What's made Buick the company they are today is very simple. They believe in themselves. Yes, they believe that they can stand toe-to-toe with the best car builders in the world and give them a darn good run for the money. And being the proud company they are, they'd like nothing better than for you to come down and see the cars that they've built and the people who sell them. For quality, room, and just plain good thinking, you'd have to look pretty hard to do better.
Inside Firestone's newest 721 radial are 2 belts of steel cord. In each cord, 10 strands of high-strength steel. 7 strands around 2, wrapped by 1. 721. Because it's a metric radial, it can use more air, so you use less gas. We call it the Fuel Fighter, designed to save you more gas than any steel-belted radial tire Firestone has ever built. Firestone's newest 721, the Fuel Fighter.
Watch the top of your screen. Alzado blocks it and then catches the foot right in the face mask. And then his pal, number 79, Chavis, comes up with the recovery. Denver's back in the football game. They have the ball just at midfield, 10-19 remaining in the game, and the Broncos trail 9-0.
They haven't given up, have they? Look at them. All right, come on, let's get something, get something.
Norris Weiss is the quarterback. Armstrong repairing the setbacks. Moses in motion.
Oh, they've got 2 men on one. There's a guy wide open by himself. I promise you, there's nobody close to even Moses.
Weiss gets off a pass to Riley Odoms, and that's what Norris Weiss can do for you.
You're right.
That's what I meant by firing up a football team. That's what I meant by having movement. First it was Page, who had him by the jersey, slipped away. Look at this. There's Page, 88. How he runs right. Then he scampers left, cutting back in the mess, and with arms around him, he finds Odoms.
That's nice.
3 for 3 for Weiss. Denver has a first down at the 37-yard line of Minnesota.
And I want to show you, Riley just came out. He was really not in the pattern. It was developed over the other side. You see him when he sees his quarterback trying to react to it down the open spot, and there it was. I think there was a defensive mix-up that time before because they left the guy wide open. Haven moved.
Weiss, Bonnie Perrin. And Perrin pecks around until he finds an opening, picks up 4 yards. It'll be second down and 6. Stopped by Matt Blair. Bonnie Perrin, last year, 456 yards. Fifth-round draft pick back in '76. Good athlete. As you saw earlier, kicking off, making the tackles on special teams. Denver trying to get back in the game. We're inside 10 minutes. They trail 9-0. Big draw, Weiss, and a peck of trouble.
Oh, bounced it.
It's out of it. Incomplete.
Tough to do, but you got to be able to do it. You got to be able to throw that ball.
He had Dalvin too, wide open.
Yes, he did.
He gives excitement, though. Really does.
Eller was giving some excitement to the officials. He felt he had been held that time.
Eller's playing quite a game. He didn't play at all last week against New Orleans.
We used to always try to go inside Eller, around Marshall, and right at Page.
How did it work?
Not too well. Actually, it didn't work too badly.
Rick Upchurch, the speedster, top of your screen. Weiss hits Upchurch. Look out.
There's your guy. There's your guy.
Rick Upchurch down to the 21-yard line. Boy, he's fun.
That's the guy who's a game breaker. And that's what Denver needs in its backfield. Perrin's a good athlete, so is Armstrong. Look at Upchurch again.
Little 5-yard out, a little bit high. There's a good move.
See how far Nate Wright played off him, respecting that speed?
He squirms and wriggles, and he's a great player.
Wriggles?
Wriggles. I wish that I could shimmy like my sister Kate.
Wriggles.
First and 10 Denver. They're battling to get back into it. Nearly 9-0. Otis Armstrong. Armstrong finds an opening and goes down inside the 15.
This team has come live with that block punt. Given the opportunity, this is the best sustained offensive drive they've had tonight, and they've gotten the movement from Little, Norris, Weiss.
Seems odd when you say a man 6'1", he's little. I guess it's all relative.
Stand next to him and tell me he's 6'1", Frank.
Well, if he wants to be 6'1", fine with me. Gain of 8 by Armstrong. Second down, long 2.
Oh, look at Seaman.
Here comes again, Armstrong.
Oh, look at that foul. Out of sight.
And Otis is running like he's capable of running tonight.
Seaman had him for maybe even a loss, had a shot at him, couldn't hold on. And Fred McNeil came over, and he actually didn't get a good shot at him either. Let's check Seaman from the middle. Reads the play pretty well all the way, comes out. There's his shot. Slid off the top. We've seen that 2 or 3 times, hit him high. Came on in, and that was Tom Hennon.
First down and goal. Ball inside the 9-yard line. Otis Armstrong.
Oh,
Armstrong all the way down close to the 1-yard line. And Denver has put it together, but they put it together too late. Clock ticking away inside 8 minutes. Approaching 7. Let's look again.
They got a good block on Page. You see that Armstrong makes a heck of a move coming back to the inside. They hit that open spot. That line was slightly overshifted to the right side, protecting against Denver coming to the right. Armstrong made a cut back into the middle.
Second and goal. The big man, Keyworth.
Oh,
touchdown. Denver gets rid of the goose egg on the scoreboard.
You asked us, you suggested there may not be time. Frank, the clock shows 6 minutes, 40 seconds remaining. There is time as you just looked at a suddenly worried Bud Grant. If they convert now, all they need is a field goal. They won't need a touchdown if they can recapture the football after the kickoff. Plenty of time, in fact. We've got a good ball game tonight, just what we look for, and certainly a crossroads game for the long season to come for the Vikings.
Boy, and you had a chance to see Brett Miller. He was so happy with the performance of Otis Armstrong. Turner! No!
Oh, no!
That was blocked.
I can't believe it.
And that puts an entirely different perspective on this game.
Sure does. That could give us an overtime game.
We'll try and pick it up.
All right. Oh, I thought he was off. Well, guess not. Big Allen.
Alan Page, slim, trim, and wiry and quick. Alan Page blocks the conversion, and it is now 9-6 the Vikings over the Broncos. Stay with us.
Come on, let's go.
Today, you'll turn a mountain of canvas and a truckload of living dynamite into one of the world's oldest fantasies, the circus. And together with every man and beast you've got, you'll haul and shove and shake that mountain until you finally reach the moment that says it's done. Now comes Miller time. Time to head for the best tasting beer you can find. Miller High Life, America's quality beer since 1855.
When it's time to relax, one beer stands clear. Beer after beer. If you've got the time, we've got the beer. Miller Beer.
Alan Page blocked the conversion. What a difference it made in this football game. Keep your eye on him. Number 88 right in the middle. It usually is Nate Wright or Allen.
Nate Allen, 25.
Hate to say that, but that's right over my old buddy from Mount Vernon, Bobby Maples. He just pushed him right back.
Ready to go now. Lonnie Perrin will kick off. Deep is Brent McClanahan. Minnesota kind of halfway expecting an onside kick. They don't get it, and Perrin drives McClanahan into the end zone, and they have to field that ball. They just can't leave it there. And it's covered by Robert Miller.
This is the touchdown. And you'll see Keyworth just taking it. It's a nice hold. Good blocking on that side. They had Sutherland stood up a little bit. You see, I saw a hand on his jersey pulling him back with him, but those things happen.
Keyworth is a big boy, a 230-pounder. He just bulls way in there. Tarkenton, 12 of 25, 92 yards. He's had 3 interceptions. He's had 7 on the year already.
Once again, the burden on the Denver defense. Stop Minnesota. Stop them now. Stop them quick. Get the ball back.
Or if you want a defense with a burden, this is a good one. Chuck Foreman, left side. Foreman, maybe 3 yards. It'll be 2nd down and 7. That's the story. Denver coming to life under Norris Weiss. Moving the football, getting on the scoreboard. The block conversion, of course, set up a potential overtime.
We haven't had one of those in a long time.
Cleveland, New England last year. Cleveland winning it.
See there? It's been a long time.
I knew you'd get that. 2nd down and 6. Chuck Foreman. It's a block from Stu Boyd. Spins back inside. And that's it. Right back to the line of scrimmage.
Maybe even lost a yard.
Boy, what a defense.
That's that number 1 draft pick we've been talking about, Don Latimer. He's really quick. He's replaced Reuben Carter in there.
He's bigger and stronger than Reuben. Reuben's been great at the position, but Latimer, as Frank suggested, may be even better.
And Chuck Foreman is down on the field. He was shaken up.
Oh, boy.
Let's just hope that he just has the wind knocked out of him.
All right, a 3rd down and a long 7.
There's a very doleful gentleman in the booth to your right as we look at him, Don.
Yeah.
Mr. Max Winter, the owner of the Vikes. This is a critical game for the Vikes. He knows it. Meanwhile, we'll be back in a moment.
If you wanted to protect the things you own from the risks of this risky world, you'd want a whole army. This is the Continental Army. Its mission is to protect you, your home, your business, and your car against loss. Anywhere, anytime. If you want that kind of protection, call up the Continental, because nobody spells protection like the Continental Insurance Companies.
Wow. The Buick LeSabre, huh? Can I really seat 6 adults comfortably?
Yes, you can.
And can I still get good EPA mileage estimates?
Yes, you can.
And can I get power steering, power brakes, and automatic transmission standard?
Yes, you can.
Yeah, but a full-size Buick like a LeSabre, can I afford one?
Yes, you can.
Buick LeSabre. Yes, you can.
Muhammad Ali battles Leon Spinks for the WBA World Heavyweight Championship live Friday night on ABC.
That's Chuck Foreman with head coach Bud Grant on the sidelines. He walked off on his own power, appeared to just have the wind knocked out of him. Robert Miller has replaced him, number 35. Brent McClanahan's in, number 33. 3rd down and 7. Talking him back and looking. The incomplete. They say it hit the ground before Sammy White came up with it. That'll bring up 4th down, as should give Denver good field position. All right, they are punting into whatever wind we have here. It's not that much, but there's a little bit of wind.
Well, the Croix de Guerre, the Medal of Honor, everything should go to that Denver defensive unit.
Mike Wood is in, the rookie. You better believe Denver will go for the block. If they don't get it, this man will, Rick Upchurch. They do not go for the block. They go for the picket line. This will be Upchurch. He'll have to go to his right. He's got it set up. He's got it set up. Rick Upchurch, fine return. Gets to the 43-yard line. Flag down. Flag down the 35-yard line. Holding, and it's going to go against Denver.
That hurts.
That does hurt.
But maybe only a little. They're the fired-up team now. They've got Dunn's friend Mo going for him.
Oh, Mo. He is a fickle devil. I'd say we're going to have to take a look at that offensive unit, but also here's the defensive unit. What's he going to say?
Illegal use of hands on the receivers, number 65 during the run back. 1st down.
Kirk Godwin. Okay, Denver has a 1st down. The ball at their own 47-yard line. 5:06 remaining in the game. Denver trails by 3. Armstrong, Keyworth the setbacks. Norris waits the quarterback, and he's got this team moving. Tight end is out. 3 wide receivers. Weiss going for Moses. Oh, intercepted. Picked off. Was that Paul Krause?
No. Looks to me like it's 49 is
Tom. No, it's not either. Well, we just won't guess. Tom Hannon, 45, is down.
The 2nd-year man from Michigan State.
Well, that was a nice interception. Threw the ball a long way. He was trying to hit Haven Moses down the middle. Got good protection by that offensive line. There's that play.
Time to trade in for TouchTune at your Magnavox dealer now. Trade in your old TV for any new Magnavox TouchTune color television and save big. Just in time for fall season. And just for touching any TouchTune television, you'll be handed free the official 1978 NFL record manual. Choose from a wide range of prices and styles during trade-in for TouchTune time. Trade and save at your Magnavox dealer now.
I told him, now I'll tell you.
This is no regular battery. This is the ever-ready alkaline power cell. There is nothing regular about it.
For heavy flashlight use, you can't buy a longer-lasting, all-purpose power cell than D-size ever-ready alkaline.
So when you want long-lasting energy for these flashlights, think ever-ready alkaline.
I dare you to call it regular. I dare you.
Tom Hannon made a key interception for the Minnesota Vikings, and he crushed to the infield of the Minnesota Twins playing field. And let's take a look at it again. We hung this up awful long, awful high, Don.
Yep. Covered a lot of ground, Hannon did, to come over and get it. I couldn't tell. I thought he fell on the ball, but it appears that...
I think you're right. He fell right on it.
But it might be that right knee, because that right knee was the thing that hit first. I saw him limping a little bit when he came on.
4:58 remaining in the game. Minnesota has the ball. Ball at their own 15-yard line. Ricky Young.
They could sure use a first down, couldn't they?
From their point of view, they could. They're working on his right knee, and I think you were probably right, Don.
Yeah, it looked like when he was up in the air as high as he was, that right knee is the first thing to hit the ground.
Right.
And that's got to hurt. Probably more of a bruise than a twist, but can you imagine what a bruise? Jump that high and come down with your full weight, and that kneecap is the first thing that hits the infield.
Counting down, we're at 4:25, and here's the gift.
Ricky Young got one. It'll be second down, 9. Ball at the 12-yard line. Parkington. Out on the flat. Ricky Young.
Ricky.
And Ricky Young is held short of the first down. Inside the 25-yard line, he had to get to the 26. It was Steve Foley. Gradishar over there also. Third down, 1.
Oh, is this a biggie? And Denver has shown the ability to contain Minnesota under these conditions a number of times tonight. Look at that stat that bears out my point. What Denver's going to remember about tonight is, uncharacteristically, 6 turnovers, 3 on fumbles, 3 intercepts.
Fred got a mix-up, didn't he?
He got a mix-up where he didn't like what came in with the 3 tight ends. Walked up to the line of scrimmage, said, no, I don't like it. I'm going to go over and visit with Bud. Give us a chance to tell you about college football coming your way this Saturday. Penn State against Ohio State. Penn State, of course, has won their first 2 games. It's the opener for Woody Hayes and Ohio State. Joe Paterno always with a good football team. There's regional college football. Also, we have Baylor against Georgia, Syracuse against North Carolina State, San Jose State versus Stanford, Idaho State versus Northern Arizona, and check your local listing for the game and the time in your area over most of these ABC stations.
An openly disconsolate Craig Morton on the sidelines, reverting back to what Frank just told you as you look at talk in the huddle there with Bud Grant and young Tommy Kramer. That Penn State-Ohio State game should be a beauty. It was a year ago, but Joe Paterno, the brilliant coach of the Nittany Lions, has to be a little troubled. They just got by underrated Temple, the margin of a field goal, and they were not that prepossessing, Dandy, in their 26-10 victory over Rutgers.
Maybe not, but I think Paterno, maybe more than any major college coach, has he's won more games without emphasizing that winning is everything attitude than anybody I know at that level. He's got, I think, a nice way with the guys, and from what I know about him, they all enjoy playing for him. So I imagine they'll get it together and give Woody a heck of a ball game.
And we have a heck of a game going on right here. Tarkenton back out on the field. He gets a new play. Third down, a little more than a yard to go. The setbacks are Foreman, 44, Miller, 35. Tarkenton rolls out. He'll sprint for the sidelines. He has the first down.
That's it.
He gave himself an option. If he could hit a receiver, good. If he couldn't, I'll run with it.
Well played defensively, Frank. They had everybody covered. It's pretty difficult when you only need about a half yard if you ever get on the outside of that tackle, and that's what he did. He held him just for a moment, but look at Gradishar. He's after him all the way. Didn't fool him for a minute. Swinson may have been held up a little bit there by Stu Voigt, I guess. And he just nipped in there and got him a first down. That was a biggie.
Minnesota has the first down. The clock is stopped at 3:36 remaining in the game. It's 9-6, the Vikings over the Broncos. They should just happen to get home and drop in on us. It was 3 field goals for the Vikings, and Denver pulled it all together. In the fourth quarter, they got the touchdown, and then they had a block conversion. Robert Miller hops to the outside, but you have a hard time getting away with the quickness of this defensive unit. It looked like it would open for a moment. Nothing happened. He gets 3. Ball marked at the 31-yard line. Seconds ticking away towards the 3-minute mark. 3:10 and counting. Minnesota with 2 timeouts. Denver has 3. That's what they're battling over. Robert Miller. Miller turns back to the inside, gets a yard and a half. It'll be 3rd down and 4. So Rizzo. Key Bronco on that stop.
Rizzo out of Long Island is the one they say is the quiet one. He's the quiet, serious linebacker of that group with the
Merchant Marine Academy.
Right.
Shot with Buffalo. Medical release. Supposed to be nothing.
Came in with in the player strike, did he, in 1974.
Right. Typical of the way this Denver team has been built. A lot of unknowns.
3rd down and 4. Heading towards the 2-minute warning. Tarkenton back. He'll take no chances.
I think it could have been a fumble.
He bobbled it, and he got back on it.
I saw a loose ball.
And it'll be 4th down, and Denver will have an opportunity.
Uh-oh.
While Alzado is down, holding a left knee.
Oh, no. Is that the one that was operated? Do you know?
I don't know. I know he did have surgery.
Does it? Oh, I hate to see it.
As great as that defense is, you can't lose the fulcrum of it. And he is.
Let's see what happens here. He was trying to get back in. He gets some pretty good pressure. Look at there. There's old Chavis, who came in on a circle move, and he had him wrapped up, ran right into Alzado. Looked like he maybe got both of their body weights thrown in against him there.
Oh, he's up.
He's all right. Tough cut.
Good, good.
He is quite a man, too. He is.
See him nod his head, Frank. I'm okay.
They presented him an award this past year as the Man of the Year, the multiple sclerosis drive in Colorado. Active all kinds of community affairs.
How about when he came east to join us in that affair we had at the Felt Forum at the Garden?
That's the one I was speaking of. That's the one I was speaking of. He is really a remarkable man. Denver kills the time so they can take advantage of the stop at the 2-minute mark. And boy, he can put some fury in here. Rick Upchurch.
Well, he's the key guy. If he can somehow run them back into field goal position, we could go to overtime.
What a year he had in 76. Remember Howard? He ran 4 TDs in 76.
He was
tied 2 NFL marks. He returned 2 for touchdowns in 1 game and 4 for the year.
The stage is set for him. Here it is. Back in his home
Check out his
territory.
dramatics.
Yes, sir.
He's pacing, too.
Well, you know they're going to have a shot at it because you could, as we've all said many times, do an awful lot in those last 2 minutes, but they are going to get fairly good field position even if he has to call for a fair catch. They won't be more than, I'd say, 60, 65 yards away from the goal.
Interesting thing, as Frank mentioned, he was drafted in the 4th round. Having gone to Minnesota, they knew about him around here, but they thought he might be too small and too brittle. Quite the converse.
Mike Wood, the rookie, set to punt for Minnesota. Oh, an all-out rush. Means Rick Upchurch will be doing it on his own.
Well, he's doing it.
Oh,
he's doing it.
Look at that man go.
Rick Upchurch to the 43-yard line.
And they've got time. 1:52.
Steve Craig made the stop. You know, he's a little man. He only weighs 170 pounds. But he runs like a 220-pounder with that great speed. So Denver is in good field position. They trail by 3. They have a 1st and 10 at Minnesota's 43-yard line. We'll be right back.
If you like the idea of a big, luxurious Buick wagon, here's something else you'll like. A smaller, luxurious Buick wagon. The new Buick Century with the comfort you'd expect of a big Buick. Yet parks and maneuvers in city traffic with a new sense of agility. And retains 80% of its big brother's cargo space. At a price that's amazingly affordable. The 78 Buick wagons. They're drawing a crowd at your Buick dealer.
My face is freckled from the sun, got a strong wind in my hair. Bike feels warm and we're far from home and we sure don't have a care. Well, I'll get off this bike someday, maybe live the way they do. But I want to know some other ways, heck, I'm only 22. Me and my RC, me and my RC. 'Cause what's good enough for other folks ain't good enough for me and my RC.
It's been a night of turnovers here in Bloomington, Minnesota, and we come down to 1:52 remaining on the clock. That's the story. Minnesota leading Denver 9-6. Denver has the offensive momentum at the moment. They have a 1st and 10 at Minnesota's 43-yard line. This man, Norris Weiss, ignited the spark when he came in relief of Craig Morton, third-year man out of Mississippi. Hasn't played all that much. Little action last year. On 1st down, through the air, incomplete, intended for Upchurch. Nate Wright was defending the ball, however, just underthrown.
Remember now, they want to get in reasonably close because their field goal kicker, Jim Turner, is almost uncannily accurate, but doesn't have the big foot to give it a long kick. So they got to pick up about 20 yards.
Does have a little wind behind him tonight.
And you're right about the distance, Howard, but he stretched one out there last year, 48 yards.
In Denver, with the altitude.
Country.
That's right.
2nd down and 10. Weiss. Man open, and he overthrows Riley Odoms. And he had him open. And he knows it.
Yes, you can see him, and he knows it.
And Odoms took a tough fall as he went for that ball, and he's leaving the game. Egloff is coming in. Let's look again. He had worked himself into the clear. Matt Blair trying to stay with him.
He had that step, though, didn't he?
No question. He had position. Good throw. Just a decent throw. And they would have had the field position they wanted for the field goal.
Egloff is in. Weiss in trouble. It fires it over the middle.
Now there's a flag down anyway.
Flag is down. If it's a dual possession, it goes to the offensive man. Nate Wright was in there battling with Rick Upchurch. But a flag is down.
I'm not surprised that they I don't know what the heck they're doing. Walk it off, all right.
1:36 on the clock. We're going to get this worked out in a moment.
Illegal chuck. Defense, number 43. 1st down.
Nate Wright got into Upchurch after Upchurch had gone 5 yards downfield. Now, you can't even touch this man. Of course, he can't run into you.
I guess that would be holding.
How about a chucking hold?
Well, I don't know.
1st and 10.
That's the break Denver needed.
Ball at the 38-yard line. Weiss again. And down he goes. A whole bunch of Vikings led by Mullaney.
They put it on him that time, didn't they?
James White was in there. You know, I'm not so sure about the calls. Otis Armstrong was running the ball so well. They plenty of time on the clock. They need 3 points to get themselves even.
You're
get
exactly
it into overtime.
right.
And he's throwing the ball every play.
What you can't do, because they've got 3 timeouts left, is panic and fall prey to the pass on every play.
2nd down now and 14. The ball at the 41-yard line. Moses out to the right. The setbacks are Otis Armstrong, 24, Keeler, 32. Has to go to the air this time. Goes to the tight end. That's Egloff.
That's it.
He's got the 1st down.
And they are there. I said 3 timeouts. Correction, they've got 2 timeouts, but they are there. They've got position now for Turner.
So Denver calls timeout. That's the clock. And let's look again. Egloff, who replaced the injured Riley Odoms, second-year man out of Wisconsin, worked himself into the clear. He comes up with the first down. They're going to measure, but I'm sure it's academic.
Well, he did get pretty wide open there. Seaman is trying to go back and drop. It looks to me that maybe one of the linebackers just had his back turned differently.
This kid's good.
Yeah.
Don, we saw him against San Francisco, and he gave us a well of a game. Ron Egloff.
Came up as a free agent. Worked his way onto the team on the special units. We saw Odoms go down a short while ago, and now Egloff, potentially a Denver Bronco hero tonight. 55 seconds on the clock, and they're getting close to Jim Turner's range. They are in range already.
That's right. You know, maybe we've overemphasized Turner as a shorter but accurate kicker, because once he did kick one 53 yards. However, Jim's been around a lot of years. He was unerring with the Jets Super Bowl team in the days when he was wearing those high shoes. Now he's turned to the low white shoes. Says it hasn't affected his kicking at all. Actually, at his age, makes his foot feel more limber, lighter.
It'll be interesting to see how they play this. Denver has one timeout. They have 55 seconds on the clock. They keep the ball in play. They're going to be very careful, of course, but if they keep it in play, they've probably got to save that first down to stop the clock to get the kicking team on the field. All right. On 1st and 10.
Oh, he's gone. Oh, what happened?
He got hit just as he unloaded, and incomplete. A dangerous effort by this young man. And he's been shaken up. I think he's going off.
I was looking downfield. I didn't see it, so let's see it again here on the air.
Watch Jeff Seaman, number 50. Jeff Seaman.
Well, that hurt Weiss's knee, but he pulled himself together. He started as if he were going to leave the field, and he came back into the huddle. 51 seconds remaining. 2nd and 10. Clock, of course, stopped with the incompletion. Armstrong and Keyworth the setbacks. Armstrong. Upended, but he gets closer to a Jim Turner toe. Down to the 22-yard line. 5-yard pickup. It'll be 3rd and 5.
That play really looked good coming around that corner there. I thought that might pick up more than it did, but you're right, 5 yards closer.
And they are going with the hurry-up offense. They want to save that one timeout. 3rd down, 5. Clock ticking away. 25 seconds.
He's got
Look out.
Oops. He got it.
He got him. It's Egloff. Egloff at the 6-yard line, and I believe Weiss would have run, but he is limping noticeably. Feeling better now. That's it. Final timeout. 16 seconds on the clock. That was Haven Moses on the reception.
I'll tell you, that little fella showed us a lot tonight. Horace Weiss, gutsy guy. Remember the background. Drafted originally by L.A. Went into the upstart league.
He got 3 guys rushing there, and that line is doing a heck of a job.
Yeah, tough little man, too. He'd shaken up a moment ago. I think he would have run, and Haven Moses found the open spot. Saw that 5. Quite frankly, there's some dark lights down there.
You bet. Well, you know, it's just a same old story. When you break that pattern, the time it goes, then it's kind of anybody's ball game. And the advantage really is to that quarterback. He can see there's guys moving around, knows where the defense is. They'll turn around and hesitate a little bit.
Phil Wise finally tackled him. You can see what that block conversion attempt meant. And now
they're not going to go for the extra point on this play. No, the field goal on this play.
They have 16 seconds.
They can still go for the victory and have the time.
They have no timeouts.
With an incomplete pass, they'll have the time.
Yeah, they'll try one.
I kind of like this. They're not going to play it close. They're going to go to win this thing.
Right. Otherwise, we face the prospect of an overtime.
First and goal. Oh, and you knew he'd be careful. And he was. Had a man there, but he was making absolutely sure that there would be no pickoff.
Fiery competitor, isn't he?
Yeah, he really is. I think they're going to try it again, maybe. I saw Turner head out toward the field, to the playing field, and they called him back.
How do you like this?
They could get in a little bit of trouble if Weiss got trapped back there. Getting the field goal team on the field. They have no timeouts, of course.
Put this game in perspective and think of that Denver defense. All the time they spent out on that field. How they held together. Kept the club in the ball game. And then this little pepper pot, Weiss, came in and gave them the spark and life they needed.
They got 5 seconds to get this play off. 2. They got it.
Weiss bootlegging, rolling out. Now this is the trouble I spoke of. He cannot stop the clock. Phil Wise. They're going to lose the football game. They're unscrambling.
Why is the clock stopped?
There were no timeouts remaining for Denver. They'll let the teams get into position.
Well, we'll have another huddle with the officials after this.
Start the clock. 2, 1. It's good. It's tied up. It's the officials' judgment as to when they get rid of the pile-up, get the teams back on side. It is incumbent upon the defense to get back on sides.
I don't know what that happened.
I would like to get into that.
Boy, and you have some unhappy
Chuck Foreman is enraged. Bud Grant's enraged. Matt Blair's enraged. Fred McNeil is enraged. And from where we